Hi, everybody. I'm Ami Silver from Applied Jewish Spirituality, wanting to share some thoughts with you as we approach the great day, very special day of Lag BaOmer. Lag BaOmer, on one hand, is the time when the students of Rabbi Akiva, the Talmudic sage who were dying of plague, that their deaths came to an end. They stopped dying. It was a movement from that tragic period of time to the beginning of healing and health and restoration. And at the same time, Lag BaOmer has become closely associated with another figure, a particular student of Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who is the hero, so to speak, of the Zohar, of the primary work of Jewish mysticism of Kabbalah. And on that front, Lag BaOmer has become, in a sense, a celebration of the inner teachings of Torah Tasod, the mysteries of Torah. And that's what I want to speak about a little bit today. You know, the word sod in Hebrew, it means secret. But it's also closely related to the word seed, which means cement, and the word yisod, which means foundation. And just as the firm cement foundations of a building are the essential components of the entire structure, but are completely hidden from the eye because they're embedded deep under the surface, under the structure, and even under the earth, so too the sodot, the secrets of Torah, are not just these extra beautiful things that maybe, those who come to a certain age or a certain knowledge of Torah can reach to, but it's actually the foundational underpinnings of the entire structure, the entire building and edifice of Torah. And in a sense, the Sodot of Torah, the teachings of Kabbalah and the inner teachings of Torah, are the ones that are really speaking about our direct connection with our source, with divinity, with reality itself. The Zohar, this book of Kabbalah, oftentimes bemoans those who have sleep in their nostrils, in a sense, just wake and sleep and are living in a trance and don't pay attention to that upon which our world is founded, to these essential foundations of reality. And that's really what the Kabbalistic teachings are trying to guide us toward, and what the Sodot of Torah are about. But it goes deeper than that. I want to share with you the words of the Piasetzner Rabbi from his book Ish Kodesh, Hasidic master of the 20th century. And he says that Sod, the secret level of Torah, is not only about the study of Kabbalistic texts, because those teachings are written in books and anyone can learn it. It's not a secret. It's just a book that maybe you've read, maybe you haven't. Rather, he says, Hasagat Elohit Yitbarach, divine perception, divine sensing, divine knowing, that each individual feels and possesses within inside themselves, that no other person perceives in that very same way. And this kind of inner knowing or sense of divine reality that you actually can't give words to and truly speak and explain to another person, that, he says, that is Sod. That is the secret of Torah, the innermost dimensions. And that's the secret that each and every one of us carries inside. It's not a secret because it's forbidden knowledge. It's a secret because it's unspeakable. It evades and transcends language and is deeply, deeply intimate. It's something so internal that I can only have a sense of it inside of myself. And I can't even begin to share it with you in any way that's confined to words. So on that level, Lag BaOmer as a time to connect with the level of Sod, of Torah, is not just about certain texts or practices or even figures, but it's about contacting that deeply rooted, hidden foundation, that sense deep down in our own very being and core that draws us or orients us toward some reality greater than ourselves, some reality deeper than that which we perceive through our general perception, and which we feel is somehow deeply anchored within us and that we're part of. And I want to share one other element of Lag BaOmer and of Torah Sod in general, which I kind of mentioned earlier. It comes at a time of the year where traditionally it's actually a time of mourning practices. The Sfirat HaOmer is a time of tragedy, plague, loss, even a form of hatred. And there's something that's somewhat counterintuitive to be arriving at the secrets of Torah, at the most inner dimensions of spiritual wisdom in this dark time and period. But the truth is, we have a lot of examples of that throughout the tradition of the inner teachings. For example, even the story of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai himself, and where he encountered these teachings that he then shared with the world, stems from a story that the Talmud tells, that he himself was persecuted by the Roman authorities, and he had to go into hiding. And he hid in a cave with his son for 13 years. And it was there in that cave, the tradition teaches, that the secrets of Torah were revealed to him. Again, alone, in exile, hiding, under threat. As the song says in the song about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Yom Nasta, Yom Asher Barachta, the day you fled, the day you escaped, Bim'arat Surim She'amarta, when you stood in that stone cave, Sham, Kanita Hodcha Ufeiracha, it's there in that place of hiding, under duress, that you receive your magnificence, your splendor. There's other examples of this. The Arizal, Rabbi Isaac Luria, the tradition teaches that the teachings of the Zohar were revealed to him in their deeper meaning as he sat alone on the banks of the Nile River, again in a kind of exiled isolation. We see time and time again throughout history that in periods of oppression or danger, there's great insight that comes from them in our wisdom tradition. And to bring that back together with what I was saying before is that it's certainly not the only way. But also, it may be that that sense of inner connection, of connection with our deeper sense of reality, can get damaged, can become distant from us when we're in pain, when we sense exile, when we sense distance. And perhaps it's specifically in that space of our lives where we can turn inward, even toward the pain itself, the pain that feels that distance, the pain that feels that perhaps divine abandonment. That pain itself knows such thing as connection. That pain itself knows closeness. If it didn't, it wouldn't feel pain at all. It would just be the way things are. And perhaps Lag BaOmer also invites us to contact that which is deep inside of even the pained, distanced parts of ourselves that are yearning and longing for a sense of connection. And that within that pained yearning, there's actually life there. There's something there that is generative. There's something there that is, like the P.S. Essner was describing, a deep inner knowing. I might not even be able to give it words. I might not be able to see it outside of myself, but I can turn and find its face. I can turn and find its searching eyes, its wanting heart, and feel the current of life energy that is held within that. And maybe begin to hear the whispers of what it knows, of what it desires, of what it seeks. And of course, Lag BaOmer is also a day of celebration. It's a day of fire, a day of song and dance, a day of joy. The joy of, in a sense, taking a deep, open breath after being under pressure for the weeks leading up to it. So blessing us with a day of opening, a day of relief and release, a day of seeking, perhaps even finding, and a day of opening up once again to those deep inner waters, those deep inner foundations. Lag BaOmer Sameach, happy Lag BaOmer, everybody.